Hi, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Cheyenne.
And we are
Conbini Cult.
Welcome to another episode of the podcast.
Ooh.
How's it going?
I'm tired.
Yeah, it's that time. We're recording a few episodes in a day.
Yeah.
This is 3 out of 4 for the day. So
just for today. And then we get to do it all again.
Marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do it again soon.
Yeah.
There's a reason, which you will find out maybe after this
episode. Yeah.
Ooh.
So the what do you call it? The order we're recording is a little different than the order we're uploading. So
yes. There's a reason.
There is a reason.
What was the reason?
Yeah. But so just be patient for that one. You've probably guessed by now if you are a regular listener. But anyway. But if we seem a little like tired, it's because we've been recording all day. I know, such a hard life we live. But also we ate a lot of pizza.
We had a pizza. We had a nice lunch break. We got pizza.
Yeah. How many slices did you eat?
Well, to be clear, they were small pizzas.
Yeah.
So I think I had, 10?
Probably, yeah. Like
little
10,
tiny slices.
Because they're the S size, like small size Domino's Japan pizzas, okay? So it's basically like a personal pan pizza at that point. And
in
the slices
New York
are legal.
Slices, maybe
3.
2.5.
You would think so? 2.5? Oh, I just went big.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
2 or 3 New York size slices.
So I'm like approaching Kanakatak. Like, how do you say Kanakatak in like Jersey or in New York? Like a food coma.
Food coma. Yeah.
I've heard the itis before. You ever heard that? Or is that like a Texan, like Southern thing?
No, I never heard that.
Yeah. So food coma, Kanakatak. I'm like going down. So we got to get into this topic because
but this
it's
topic,
a good one.
It's gonna wake you up.
It's gonna wake me up, I'm sure, because it's very interesting. So yeah.
So today's topic, as you will know from the title, is about defamation cases. Can you actually get sued for leaving a bad review to a business in Japan? So we are going to find out.
Yep.
But first,
a
couple life updates.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, so in the episode before this, we were talking about weddings.
Yep.
My wedding.
Yes, specifically. Yeah,
Frankie's wedding. So after the wedding, we received another gift from somebody. This was one of my husband's father's kind of clients, or like business associates.
Okay, so random.
Yeah, so they didn't attend the wedding.
Yeah.
But they gave us a gift that was worth 40,000 yen, so 30,000 in cash. That is the amount that a guest would have to pay at the wedding, 30,000 for a single person. But he also gave us this fancy gift box with all this coffee stuff, which was really great, actually.
Yeah.
I'm a coffee.
I'm
a coffee gal. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
because they didn't attend the wedding, did you know this? You have to give a gift back to them that is worth half the value of what they gave you.
I didn't
so I'm
know.
like,
no. But I'm not
it's a little
surprised.
bit of a headache.
Yeah. It's like, did he give you this gift because he was invited and he couldn't go, which is why he went above and beyond? He just gave it to you.
He just gave it to us.
So now you just have to like give him back the...
We've never met him either.
What's that about? Like, I mean, okay, listen. Thank you. Cool. Very wonderful. But you don't know them. They don't know you. Like, I don't get what that's about either.
Yeah. And then also, so we ended up getting a gift card for him. Those, what are those things? Like the JCB cash voucher thingies?
Okay,
it's
so you can like
a gift
spend
card.
it on whatever, basically?
Yeah, there's a lot of places you can use those.
Yeah.
So we give those to him. But also, my father-in-law passed along that gift. So we still haven't met this guy.
Oh my god. So you're just like gift giving to this mystery person, basically?
We tried, but he was busy with his family during Golden Week. So
okay. Interesting. That does happen a lot in Japan though, where like you would think, right, because you hear a lot like Japanese people are so nice and they don't ask for anything, which like they really don't sometimes. But when it comes to like gift giving, there's just so many like there's unspoken rules or like a proper way.
Accept and give back.
Yeah, like if you're given something, I didn't know you have to give, what is it? Half the value. Like, that's stressful, and like...
Only for a person who didn't attend, who gave you a gift.
Who made that up?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound real. Like, who made the client who couldn't attend? He's the one who made this rule. Well, like, yeah, that's stressful if you don't, like, know, especially. But, okay. Well, good on you guys for giving him something back. I would have I wouldn't have given him anything, but like I just would have no idea. Did your husband tell you about that rule, or have you just known that?
His parents did.
Okay. So it's like extra pressure, right? That like the dad is like, okay, he got you this thing, so you should give him something back. Like, that's not how gift giving works. Like, just accept the gift. But anyway, okay, well, that's all. It's all over and done. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever meet him, but if you're watching this podcast,
he's in his house, like, yeah. But speaking about weddings and stuff, my life update is I got married. Woo! Yeah, so she's a wife on paper, at least. We don't have a ceremony or anything. We just did the very simple, like, turn in your paperwork to the city hall, and it's that easy in Japan. You just kind of...
Isn't it the fastest paperwork you'll ever do? Well,
it's the fastest paperwork you'll ever do if you do it correctly the first time.
Okay, fair.
Because in my case, like, I'm foreign, my partner's Japanese. There was certain documents I had to prepare. Like, you need an affidavit or whatever that shows you've never been married, or if you're divorced, like, whatever. Yeah.
In your home country.
Yeah. So I needed to prepare that, which meant going to the U.S. Embassy, which meant getting a reservation for that, because that's only reservation only. And at the time, I had to book it like months in advance. I guess the Osaka embassy is like booked and busy. So that took time. And then we actually did run into a problem where the first time we tried to go, I had everything set on my end. But for Japan, you need at least 2 witnesses, like their signature and stuff. And they need to write their address as well. And so one of the witnesses we asked wrote their current address. It is a correct address that they currently live at. But they do, because they live in Osaka, I guess the city hall like can do a background check on like the people who live in Osaka. And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we were there kind of like before closing, and we thought we were like gonna get it all done. And then they give us back the paper. They're like, this person doesn't exist. Like, that is the wording they used. And we're like, what do you mean? And basically, if you're familiar with Japanese procedures, he moved from Tokyo to Osaka, and like when you move within Japan, you're supposed to fill out a form at your city hall, like that you moved, for like your tennyu, todoke or whatever. And he didn't like notify Osaka that he lives there now, basically. And so to them, they were like, he's not a real person. So we had to leave. Like, we just had to like have him, like, because we can't write the address for him. So we had to like have him rewrite his own address.
But what if they lived outside of the country?
I
feel like in that case, it would just be fine.
Maybe it was just be fine. I think it was a problem because he lives in Osaka, or it was an Osaka address, which is why they searched it. Because like I assume if like you get a witness like who lives in Tokyo but you live in Osaka, like they wouldn't go as far.
How would they be able to check that?
And like if we knew that, we wouldn't ask anyone who like lived in Osaka. So that was a hassle. Had to redo that, and then it went fine the next time. But anyway, that's my news.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm a wife. That's so weird to say.
Wifey material.
Wifey material. Finally got a
wifey
ring
things.
On it. It sounds weird to say though, like my husband. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Especially if you've called your partner a certain title, the same thing for, in my case, 6 years. Like, weird to say husband. But yeah, I'll get used to it eventually.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Can you jump in?
All right. I think perhaps you may have heard the story already about the woman who found a man under her bed in her hotel room.
Dude.
At an Apple hotel in Tokyo.
Yeah. This is like one of the times I'm thankful for TikTok, because I think without it, we probably wouldn't have ever known about it, to be honest. Yeah.
So just to quickly summarize what happened. So she is visiting Tokyo. She stays at an Apple hotel there. She comes back to her room one day, gets undressed, and she lays on the bed. She smells something funky, and she's trying to figure out what it is. Then she realizes, seems like it's coming from under the bed. So she takes a look under the bed and sees a pair of eyes staring back at her. A man comes out from under the bed, stares at her for a few seconds. She screams.
Yeah.
He screams and then runs out of the room. So
Sorry, I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. Not because it's funny. Yeah.
Hotel staff and police are called. Then they find a power bank and a USB cable under the bed, which could imply that he'd been camping out there for a while. Who knows how long that man had been there or how he got there. The hotel told her straight up, the police probably won't find him because we don't have cameras. Huh? As if CCTV doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Like, look outside. Look at the cameras outside. Look who left the building at that time.
Exactly.
Come on. Yeah, so and after some back and forth, they refunded her stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean after back and forth? Like, why not immediately? But okay.
Yeah,
continue.
That did not happen immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically...
That is so terrifying. I mean, like, you know, when it comes to traveling, and more specifically traveling alone as a woman, unfortunately, there are just so many different, like, safety concerns we worry about all the time. Like, when it comes to walking alone, staying inside. And so, like, her biggest fear happened that day, you know? And so I'm so sorry, you know, to this creator. But yeah, I don't know. I have no words. That is so scary.
So I also just wanted to point out that, of course, on her original video, there's a lot of victim blaming comments as well. Of course, there's overwhelming support. Like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. Yeah. But a few of those victim blaming comments, like, why is her video scripted?
Who's scripting that? Like, who does that for, like... clout, or you know, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, maybe she was reading off
like she to collect her thoughts and like just explain the story,
because you want to explain the story coherently.
Clearly,
and also English is not her first language, so maybe she needed that as well.
Help.
So people are like, well, is she reading from a script?
She's
Ukrainian, of course she's looking for attention.
Oh, gross. Gross.
Yeah But it's good that nothing more than that happened to her. Because it could have ended very badly.
Yeah. And like just one more reason to not stay in an Appa hotel. I know they're like very budget friendly and like sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, it just goes to show it is still very problematic hotel. And that's not her fault, like for staying there.
Yeah. It's just like this hotel
it
sucks. Should be safe.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any update on that? Like, they didn't catch I mean, I feel like we would have heard about it, but they didn't catch the guy or anything. It sounds like they really took no action. And the hotel, like, really tried their best to cover it up. Because, again, I haven't seen it on the news or anything. The only reason we know about it is because we're just, like, on this side of TikTok here in Japan. And so, honestly, like, I'm really, you know... proud of this person for speaking out and still remaining like, you know, so strong and firm about their experience. And despite all of these negative comments about her and like blaming her and all that stuff, she really is not backing down from, you know, her experience and her story. So
and she didn't say that she hates this country.
It's just like this happened.
This experience happened.
Yeah. And it's scary. Like, it would be scary for anyone, like tourists, like locals staying in a hotel. Like, this is just not okay. You know, like, this has nothing to do with like her background or her race or like this hotel, I guess. But like, the person to blame is this man, you know? So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, just how did he get there? Was he stalking her? There's so many questions.
There's so many questions.
That will probably never get answered.
Has he been there? Because, like, again, they found the charging port and stuff. So he's been camping out there for, like, a while at least.
Yeah, what was he planning? Ew,
and, like, because if he's, like, has access to the room, like, you can't help but think, like, is it a staff member? Like, alleged? I don't know. I'm just, like, in my opinion, guessing here, like, not confirming anything, like, is this a staff and that's why they're like being so hush hush about it? Maybe like he works there and that's how he got access into the room, you know, like, because they like hotel rooms get cleaned and stuff, of course, but like I get it. Like, how often is like the cleaner like looking under the bed, you know, like sometimes hotels get cleaned very like like quickly. So
yeah, they're on a time crunch.
Yeah.
But I think she said there you need your key card to access the elevator.
Oh, okay.
So that adds another level of like how did he get there?
Exactly. And if they're like the hotel saying they don't have cameras is like such a lie. Like, I feel
Wouldn't they be in the hallway?
They'd be at, like, there's security cameras everywhere these days. And if you're a hotel chain, like, maybe sure, if you're like a mom and pop, like a private owned super small hotel that's old or whatever, sure. But in Appa, like, that is such a huge hotel chain. Like,
that's one of the biggest chains here.
I can feel like it would be against some kind of law if they didn't have CCTV. But again, I'm not like a lawyer or like an expert in like Japanese laws and whatever. But I don't know. It's all very fishy. So, yeah. But I'm glad she's okay. At the end of it, I'm glad she's okay and got refunded to the very least.
Yes. But we also wanted to just take a moment to say another tragic thing that happened recently with another visitor. So a Brazilian tourist was found dead in her Airbnb.
Not too long after this incident. Well, I heard about this from this same creator, this Appa Hotel victim. I don't know how you found out about it, but
I think someone just shared an article on Instagram.
Yeah, so not too long after the Ukrainian girl was posting about her experience finding the man under her bed, a couple days later when I was scrolling on TikTok, she was talking about this incident with the Brazilian woman as well. And so that's how I found out about it too. It's like TikTok too.
Yeah. And in the case of the Brazilian woman, the man who did that to her was not Japanese. So I can just,
smell those comments coming
like,
saying
only foreigners do this. A Japanese person would never do it. But you cannot deny there's a problem with stalking and stuff here.
It's bad here, especially with like idols and celebrities. Like anytime, anywhere, but yeah.
So, as always, you can love Japan and not defend creeps and criminals.
Yes. Please don't like come to any defense or, to this dude's defense in any of these cases we're talking about now. It's like not okay.
No victim blaming.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
So that made me wonder, can the hotel sue her?
Sue her? Oh, for
making this video talking about
I mean, she did like
the incident.
Name drop the hotel. I don't know if it matters if she name dropped like the location, because again, opposite chain, but I don't know. Good question. Did you look into it?
Well, she posted, there was a comment that was on her video that said, this was back in April. She said, guys, I need to re-upload the video. Appa Hotel asked me to hide the name of the worker. So I think that in one of the emails she had screenshotted, you could see someone's name.
Okay.
But that video, the original video is still up. So I guess they were not that adamant about her taking it down. So yeah, that's all we know so far.
Okay.
I feel like maybe they would not sue her because she doesn't live here. So that would be pretty complicated.
Yeah, and I feel like that is probably a reason, but also like we said, Appa is just such a huge hotel business and chain here. Like it might not be worth. Like they probably feel like it's not worth their time, to do so. But who knows?
Okay, so that kind of prompted me to look into some notable defamation cases and to answer the question: can you actually get sued for leaving a bad review? Has that ever happened to somebody before? So yeah, but before we get into that, I just wanted to say that Japanese law requires individuals to prove that a statement is false and cause them damage to win a defamation lawsuit.
Okay.
So yeah, you got to prove this stuff.
Yep.
All right. So some of the notable cases. So this one is recent, actually.
Oh, okay.
So a bunch of doctors are suing Google over negative reviews on Google Maps.
Interesting.
Yeah. Would you like to read the overview?
Sure. So in April 2024, a group of 63 Japanese doctors filed a lawsuit against Google in the Tokyo District Court, seeking 1.4 million yen, approximately $9,400 in damages. The plaintiffs alleged that Google failed to remove I'm having like a brain fart. Defamatory?
Defamatory.
This word. Okay. I'm going to start over. The plaintiffs alleged that Google failed to remove defamatory and false reviews on its Google Maps platform, which they claim have harmed their professional reputations and businesses.
So some of the examples of these negative reviews, we can go back and forth with these.
Yep.
I was turned away at the door, and they left this with the lowest rating, 1 on a 5-point scale.
The next one is, name redacted, clinic is a killer hospital, go bankrupt. Oof.
Okay. Redacted, clinic used me as a test subject and gave me experimental stitches.
What? Okay. And this last one we have here is, my child was misdiagnosed here and wasted 3 years. The Tokyo District Court ruled in October last year that it's hard to believe that the clinic made a misdiagnosis, so the post violated the clinic's rights. The court ordered Google to disclose the poster's information.
Damn.
What? Yeah, that seems a little harsh.
Okay, and by the way, this case is still ongoing.
Oh.
So we don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
But if these 63 doctors win, they would only get 22,222 yen each.
Okay, why?
They said the cost was symbolic.
What does that mean?
They're not worried about the money.
The money?
They care about their reputation. So it's symbolic.
I guess, but like, I know, but it's like, is it even worth it at that point? And I know that's like the point of it being symbolic, but like,
yeah.
Come on. Like, they hate to see a Yelp review coming from like a US Karen or something like that, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, some of the examples of the reviews, like 2 of them were very far-fetched.
like killer hospital.
They gave me experimental
stitches. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to deny that person's experience, but like it sounds like they were abducted by like a
aliens.
UFO. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. Personally, I think negative reviews can be really helpful sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, just like everything, it's important
if they're true.
Yeah. To like take everything with like a grain of salt, right? Like you're entitled to your own research and like to leave a review and to read those reviews and whatever. But like sometimes it can be tricky when like, you know, you let like one review get to you and then you just make your own assumption. Like, okay, this place is bad, you know, like it is hard, but that's what the internet is, you know, like you can't just believe everything. But also maybe you should sometimes if all of the reviews are bad about a place.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the doctors are right in suing Google over this?
I don't know. Like to sue Google is crazy. I mean, only because I think about Google as being this like huge entity.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I didn't think anyone would have the time or like not the courage, but kind of just like the idea to like sue Google is crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Apparently 63 of these doctors disagree with me. So
yeah.
We'll see.
All right.
I thought they were gonna like sue the poster or like the user individually.
But it's anonymous. So.
Yeah. So I guess Google was their only
username has.
Because you can have your information. Like usually when people make this is like something that if you didn't know, like heads up, when you make like your Google accounts and your email account, like anything, when you register for it, you probably are asked to fill in like your personal information, like your first and last name or whatever. And like you're probably not thinking about it at the time because you're like, yeah, this is my name. But like with Google specifically, yeah,
your name is on there.
If your name is like registered as your first and last name, it will show up if you do leave Google reviews. So I know it sounds like silly and common sense, but like some people might not know that. So if you do decide to leave a review, please check like what your information settings are on your Google account. Like you can change your name or whatever, or make a different account if anything. But yeah.
Okay. So we'll see what happens with that case. If ever there's an update, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Another notable case was a Sapporo restaurant that sued Tabelog.
Oh.
Tabelog.
Yeah.
They're like a restaurant.
Like specifically for leaving reviews for restaurants here. So like think of it like a Yelp review, but like just for food.
Yeah. You can make reservations too.
On Tabelog. Right? Oh, yeah. It kind of has everything. You can see like the menu and like the vibe and all the ratings and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think I've never left a review on there, but I've used it to make reservations.
I use it to like see reviews too, just overall. Yeah.
So could you read the overview of this case?
So in 2013, a restaurant owner in Sapporo In 2013, a restaurant owner in Sapporo sued Tabelog, requesting the removal of a negative review and compensation for damages. The review included a photo of half-eaten food and a comment stating, "I had to wait about 40 minutes for the food to come out," which the owner claimed was false and led to significant drop in customers. The court ruled in favor of Tabelog, stating that the platform serves as a venue for public opinion and that restaurants, being public-facing businesses, are subject to such scrutiny. From a restaurant owner in one of the articles regarding the case, the experience of running a restaurant was a lot nicer before the internet and Tabelog, he said. Now, the threat of a bad rating plays into the Japanese mentality of aiming for perfect customer service. This creates a lot of unrealistic expectations, which lead to stress and frustration. Yeah, I mean...
I get
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But also... Okay, so for the Sapporo restaurant, the person waiting 40 minutes for their food to come out, like, that's possible.
It can be possible. Like, was it a weekend? Like, especially in Japan, like, you gotta, like, consider, like, people line up for so many things here in Japan. And, like, was it a weekend? Was it an izakaya? It was a busy night. And, like, I've only worked in food service here in Japan, and it's like a very mild experience compared to like being a server in the US. I can only assume,
I've never
right?
done it. Yeah.
So I try my best not to like talk badly about like restaurant workers or like service workers because depending on the night, like they're doing their best, and sometimes it takes a long time to get your food out. Like nobody does it on purpose, you know? And so in my experience too, like when it comes to maybe because it's Japan, like customer service here is like pretty top tier, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that can like lead to a lot of like high expectations from Japanese customers about like when food is expected to come out and stuff. So I feel like maybe this person was being a little strict, but like who knows? I wasn't there, right? So yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I feel like it would have been better to just respond to the review and be like, so
I'm sorry. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like, sometimes that's all it takes too. Like,
instead of suing.
Yeah, like, that was kind of an extreme, like, counter, to that situation. But sometimes all it takes is, like, sucking it up and be like, I'm sorry you had this experience. Like, please let us know how we can, like, improve your experience next time. Like, that's just, like, comes with the territory of being a business owner, sometimes. So, yeah, take their feedback and whatever. I do just like this comment of, like, the very, like, boomer comment of, like, life was a lot nicer before the internet. Like, yep. Okay.
Those were simpler times.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Another big case was Oricon versus a freelance journalist named Hiro Ugaya. So it began in 2006 when Oricon, a major music chart company in Japan, sued journalist Hiro Ugaya for 50 million yen, around 350,000 USD in today's conversion, after he suggested in an interview that their rankings might favor certain talent agencies. Johnny's.
Yeah.
Oricon did not sue the magazine that published the interview, but sued the journalist directly, raising concerns about press intimidation and freedom of the press. A Tokyo district court initially ordered Ugaya to pay 1 million yen, around 7,000 USD today, in damages, but Ugaya appealed to the Tokyo High Court. Oricon finally abandoned its defamation action against the freelance journalist on the 3rd of August after 33 months. So that must have sucked for him.
Yeah.
The magazine where his interview was published, they later apologized to him and compensated him. But the case drew international criticism as an attack on press freedom and highlighted the vulnerability of freelance journalists in Japan.
Yeah. And so it seems like there's just a lot of, like, I don't know, limitations, would you say, about being a journalist in Japan? I mean, the purpose of journalism is, like, freedom of... I know constitutional rights and everything are different, but, like, it's an opinion piece. Like, that is their job to just, like, do their research and write about it, And so that is a little extreme, I think.
Yeah. I wonder how that guy's doing now. Is he still writing?
I don't know. Would you, if this happened to you? Or, well... Here's the thing, like, journalists, like, everyone gets into their certain, like, field for a reason, right? And, like, journalists are very, like... Passionate. And I feel like if you become a journalist, you, like, know of all the consequences you can get into. And, like, because your passion is, like, finding out the truth or, like, not posting, but, like, writing about a story that you did research on and stuff.
Yes.
So, like, me personally, I mean, I'm not strong. If this happened to me, I'd be like, it's okay, like, F this. Like, I don't need the stress of this. But I'm sure, like, this situation only fueled the passion and fueled the fire for him. Like, I can
uncover
only...
the truth of this.
Yeah, like, I can only
uncover
assume,
the corruption.
Like, he's still writing today. Yeah.
That was almost 20 years ago.
2006 was almost 20 years ago? Where were you in 2006? Let's show our age.
In high school? Like, just entering high school.
No, you weren't. Really?
I was just entering high school in 2006. Oh my god, I'm old.
I was in elementary school. That's why I was like, really? I was in the 6th grade. When does high school start for you?
6th grade is middle school.
Oh, 6th grade is still elementary school for us in Hawaii.
In Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Typically. Depends on the school, but like, yeah, 6th grade. Still elementary.
Oh, yeah.
6th grade and middle school is scary. So what, you're just like...
6, 7, 8.
Oh, that's terrifying to be like a 6th grader and then you're going to school with like 8th graders. Usually 8th graders like grow mustaches and shit by then. And you're like, everyone's gone through puberty and you're just in the 6th grade. Scary.
Is high school 4 years in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Or is it 3?
It's 4. So middle school's only 2. 7 and 8. It's real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But okay. All right. Sorry. Little... cultural difference there we experienced.
Even within the same country.
There you go.
Yeah.
But, okay.
So I did find a few other notable defamation cases, but these didn't have to do with reviews.
Okay.
But they were just like, well, the first one, I was like,
yeah,
damn.
This one sounds intense. All right.
Okay. So I called it the road rage incident, Tokyo lady versus politician.
Okay. Love that.
Okay. Please give the summary of this one.
So to start, the road rage incident in 2019, the man was a serial road rager. Oh, wait. So in the city of Mito, Ibaraki.
Sorry, my notes are really jumbled
No problem.
at this point. Okay. This was the last one I added.
Okay, no problem. So we're in the city of Mito, Ibaraki Prefecture. 44-year-old man cut off and stopped his car in front of a 25-year-old driver, then got out of the car and punched him. There was a woman in the car with the road rage dude who appeared to be filming it.
Yes.
Okay.
So, a former politician, I think this man lived in Toyota in Aichi.
Okay.
But he quoted a tweet on his Facebook and said that the Tokyo woman, he said that the Tokyo woman, the one who was suing him in this defamation case, that she was involved in an assault that occurred on the Joban Expressway in Ibaraki Prefecture, the road rage incident. He posted a picture of this woman on his Facebook page and commented, "Please spread the message so that police can arrest her soon."
This is when I agree with the old boomer who said life was better before the internet. But unless I'm
gonna rant.
I'm getting confused. Yeah, I'm getting confused. Who's the bad guy?
I'll be ranting after this.
Okay.
So the court's ruling said the post damaged the woman's social reputation as she had nothing to do with the incident.
Okay.
The court ordered the former politician to pay her 330,000 yen, around $3,125 at the time. The plaintiff's lawyer said the woman's Instagram account was inundated with more than 1,000 abusive messages because of the wrongful accusation. In the actual... So the woman who was suing him, she was not there. She wasn't involved in this.
Okay, right?
But yeah. So in the actual road rage incident, of course, the man who, the road rager dude, he was charged, got in trouble. But the woman who was accompanying him and filming it, she was fined 300,000 yen for helping him evade police. But yeah, the Tokyo lady who sued the former politician, she had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So he's just posting a picture of a random lady.
Okay, that's where I got confused. I'm like, what's
message.
happening? Okay.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I had to read everything a few times.
Yeah.
What is going on? But what is making me mad is why is he posting the picture of the lady
who had like nothing to do?
Well, even if she did have something to do with it, but like, I mean, even if she was the one who was there, like, why would he not be posting the road rage man?
Yeah,
he's saying,
actually,
go find
true.
him.
True, yeah.
Please spread the word so that police can arrest him. Why was he just obsessing over this lady?
I don't know. Because sometimes men are just but that one was a little confusing to me, but I got it now. I see.
Yeah, that was a very bizarre and confusing case.
I feel
but
like
I wanted to talk about it.
There's like more road rage incidents that happen in Japan that I was like aware of. I feel like because like we talked about this in our like most wanted episode, and like he was a like serial road rager, but it had to do with like traffic accidents and stuff like that. So I guess it does happen way more than you think here in Japan.
Yeah, I saw something on the news about it before, and then I was like, aori unten, like I kind of want to look into it.
Is that what it's called in Japanese? What did you say?
Aori.
Aori?
Unten.
What does the aori mean? Like, is that in katakana?
I forgot what it was. A kanji I had never seen before.
Oh, aori unten.
So I assume it means like rage.
Okay, maybe yeah. We're just gonna assume probably.
Yeah.
Good to know. I was just gonna say like road rage, which maybe could translate the same way.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had also talked about in a previous episode where we did a deep dive on Black Box Diaries.
Yes.
So we talked about Shiori Ito, the journalist who sued another prominent journalist.
Gerbil. She sued a gerbil.
Sorry. She sued another prominent journalist over a sexual assault that happened. So yeah, but there was a female manga artist who was ordered to pay her 1.1 million yen, almost $10,000 in damages for basically tweeting stuff about her faking and lying and all that stuff. And then 2 men who retweeted the artist were also ordered to pay around $1,000, 110,000 yen.
Well, I'm glad that lady had to like pay and like serve some kind of consequence, I guess, because that's gross. Really, lady?
Yes.
Have you been picked? Like, come on.
Oh, and also speaking of Black Box Diaries, I did buy the book.
Yeah.
I have it in my bag right now.
Oh, okay. So you're still reading it then?
Yeah, I just started it. I thought maybe I could get it to you this week, but I don't know if I can finish it.
It's okay. It's okay. Give it to me whenever you're finished, like later in the next coming weeks, because I'm sure I'll have some time to read it and all later. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, so far it's really great.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the thing that happened is not great, but her writing and everything is really,
written by her,
yes,
right? In the first person?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
And it gives a lot of her background and her childhood and stuff, so you kind of understand where she was coming from with everything. So, yes.
Okay.
Very good read so far.
I'm excited to give it a look once you're all finished.
Yes. Okay, so do you know this next one?
Yes, I am familiar. Not with like if there was a lawsuit or a case or anything afterwards. I'm not familiar with like how that turned out, but I am aware of the Hana Kimura incident after Terrace House, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you remember what happened on Terrace House? Did you watch season?
I didn't watch her season, but like in a nutshell, she was a pro wrestler and she had like a costume or like a wrestling, outfit that she was really important to her, and it was like really expensive or something. And one of the
custom.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that, so in this situation, one of the housemates like just washed it like a regular like wash, like not delicate wash, put it in the washer and it got ruined essentially.
Yes.
And then she was very upset about that, as she should have been. It's something important to her. Like you can't get it back really. And so she kind of just was very upset at that situation. And then it led to like an argument between the guy and her.
Yes.
And then she received a lot of like backlash about that incident and a lot of internet bullying and stuff, which led to her unfortunate unalive.
I'm sorry, I forgot to give a trigger warning before we talked about this.
Sorry about that.
But I'll put it in the timestamps. I mean, that doesn't help you now if you're listening to it, but if you look at timestamps, maybe that would help. Yeah. Yeah, so this really, really sad situation. But Hannah's mother really took the lead with trying to sue and, get people to take responsibility for what happened. So, we can popcorn this article from Asahi Shimbun. Okay. It's titled, Japan Toughens Defamation Penalties After Wrestlers Unaliving.
Okay. Japan's parliament approved tougher penalties for criminal defamation Monday in a move prompted by a bullied wrestler's unaliving that is raising free speech concerns.
Yes, this was 2022, by the way. Deliberations in the Diet on toughening the defamation law began in January after Hana Kimura took her own life at 22.
Kimura faced bullying and insults on social media in 2020 after appearing on the Netflix show Terrace House about 3 men and 3 women temporarily living together at a shared house in Tokyo.
Her death triggered a wave of discussion about anonymous bullying and hateful messages.
Kimura's mother, Kyoko, also a famous professional wrestler, was a driving force behind the legal change. She testified in the Diet in April that she has continuously faced insults and accusations of using her daughter's name to make money.
The amended law will be formally enacted later this year. It will add a prison term of 1 year with an option of forced labor and fines up to 300,000 yen, around $2,220, to convicted violators, a change from only short-term detention and fines of less than 10,000 yen, $74 in current law.
The legislation was approved by the upper house on Monday after earlier passing in the lower house, the more powerful of Japan's 2-chamber parliament. Due to the free speech concerns, the law is scheduled to be reviewed by outside experts in 3 years. So soon then. If this article was posted in 2022, 3 years
ago.
was this year, 2025, right?
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So that made me wonder, of course, who was actually sued then. The Tokyo District Court on May 19th ordered a man to pay 1.29 million yen, $11,800, for defaming reality TV star Hana Kimura on Twitter following her unaliving. According to the plaintiff, the defendant, who resides in Nagano Prefecture, posted messages on Twitter including, "Your death makes everybody happy. Thank you. I was enjoying Terrace House, but it's canceled because of your... Go to hell." That's so disgusting. Yeah. The plaintiff called the messages extremely heinous and said the man had posted them shielded by anonymity. The messages, she said, violated the bereaved family's emotions and were disrespectful of their cherished memories of their daughter. Prior to the lawsuit, the plaintiff asked Twitter to release the information of people who posted hateful comments, which revealed the man's identity. I'm glad he had to pay.
Yeah, good.
For those horrible comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hana's mother, she also did file lawsuits against the producers of Terrace House and Fuji TV, but both her lawsuit and the countersuits were dismissed.
Have you ever watched, before this incident happened, of course, like watched Terrace House or knew of the show or watched the show?
I had watched a couple seasons and I did watch Hana's season.
So at the time, I mean, I wasn't watching Hana's season, but I remember this news coming out, and my husband was a big fan of the show too. He had like been watching, he's Japanese, right? So he had been watching it since the first season ever. And so this was like really big and devastating news for him too. And yeah, it's really unfortunate. We do see this a lot, like in Asia specifically too, not just with like reality TV stars, but like especially like in South Korea, for example, a lot of like idols or you know, celebrities just get bullied to a point where they feel like
the lead of Shiny.
Yeah, like that they can't be here anymore, you know. So it is really sad and a very serious issue. And I've kind of noticed too, I don't know how much reality TV you watch in Japan anymore, but like
not so much.
If you are familiar with like Terrace House, they were pretty like, I don't want to call it like cutthroat, but like because like a lot of Japanese reality TV, you know, they'll show like the show, and then they'll show like a group of like maybe 4 or 5 commentators, and they just talk amongst themselves, like kind of like friends watching TV together and stuff. And like a lot of the comments, they would like poke fun at the people in the show, or like, you know, show their opinions about certain things happening, like, oh my god, why would he say that, or like that was crazy and stuff. And like Terrace House was kind of one of those shows at the time where like they didn't really hold back a lot of their opinions, like the way they joked about stuff and the way they felt about stuff. It was really like put out there. And I think even with I can't remember it clearly, so I'm not gonna like say anything specifically, but like in this incident when like, you know, the argument was happening about her wrestling costume, her clothes got like ruined and stuff, like I'm sure there was a lot of back and forth between the commentators as well, like she totally overreacted, like I'm sure they did not help this situation. You know, like you as a comedian or a talent in Japan, like saying your opinions about it too, that kind of like may or may not have fueled the fire, right? For like viewers watching it.
I don't remember what their commentary was.
I don't know it specifically, so I'm not gonna like allege anything, but like, you know, because I'm sure there was some there that was like, no, like that was really important to her. Like I'm sure there was a balanced discourse about it, but like just the fact that you have people in that room who may or may not have been like, in my opinion, that was an overreaction. Like I'm sure that doesn't help like the viewers back home, you know, like especially these like incels and stuff, like saying awful things online. But anyway, where I'm going with that is I noticed because of this, whether it's because of this incident or like after this incident or whatever, I still continue to watch like a lot of Japanese reality shows here in Japan, like about dating and stuff, and where they do have commentators still. And like I asked my boyfriend just to be sure, because I'm not like a Japanese person or fluent or whatever, and he agrees with me, like a lot of the commentary these days is very mild and very watered down. Like you can tell they are really like choosing their words carefully these days as to like, avoid any backlash or, you know, responsibility and like whatever happens because of this. So just put that out there.
Yeah. So, do you remember the Black Mirror episode, Hated in the Nation?
I probably only remember the worst part about that episode, which was like the last scene with the pig, right? Like, is this the same episode? Is that
no,
episode?
You're thinking National Anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Not
no.
the pig.
Okay.
Hated in the Nation
what is Hated in the Nation?
Had to deal with online bullying and stuff, and, you know, tweeting like, death to this person or whatever.
Maybe I don't remember it as much.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody who
it sounds like an early season if I don't remember it, but okay. Yeah. Well, is it kind of giving this episode giving Black Mirror a little bit, the situation?
In an ideal world. I'm just kidding. No. Yeah. So basically that episode has to do with, you know, holding people accountable for the nasty things they say online.
I see. I'll go ahead and give it a rewatch. Yeah. I could use a refresher.
Yeah. It's a unnecessarily long episode, I think. But
even for Black Mirror?
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half.
That is a movie.
That's long for Black Mirror.
Okay.
Yeah. So I looked up on Reddit if there was anything about bad reviews and stuff. So I just found a thread called Posting Negative Reviews in Japan. What are the legal risks? Risks. Did I say wrists?
You said risk or wrists something.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
Ay!
Okay. Would you read this one, please?
Sure. So this was posted on Reddit 1 month ago in r/Japan Life. Posting negative reviews in Japan. What are the legal risks?
Wrists. Just kidding.
So I recently left a negative review on hot pepper for a shop that, in my opinion, provided extremely poor service. However, I've since been reading about the potential legal consequences, and it seems that in Japan, even factually accurate negative reviews can be considered defamation. If posting a truthful but negative review can still count as defamation under Japanese law, how do platforms like Hot Pepper operate? They not only host reviews, but actively encourage customers to submit them. Is there some kind of legal loophole that protects reviews on their platform but not on others? For example, is there any legal difference between posting a negative review on Hot Pepper versus Google? Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So some notable comments.
Yeah.
Always use a fake Google account if you want to leave a negative review. Not worth the headache.
Yeah. Oh, and the OPs replied to that, and they said, I changed my profile name and used a generic profile picture, but based on the timing of the review and the fact that it's a relatively small business, they can probably tell who left it. They also have all my info from Hot Pepper. I've heard there are cases where they can petition to Google to obtain your IP address, which is what I'm more concerned about.
Yeah, well, that's what one of the doctors did in that case. The person who said they were misdiagnosed, or their child was misdiagnosed. Okay, someone else said, I mean, when I tried to leave a negative review of a toxic-ass company who wanted to ruin my life at an Hyoban workplace review website, 99% of my review was not posted, leaving only good place if you feel like using English at work. Mind you, I wasn't rude or emotional. It was a fact-based review mentioning negatives of that workplace. When I reached out to that site, they said they are not promoting defamation and whistleblowing, which is wild. It's a review site. Am I only allowed to write good things? I gave up on reviewing stuff in Japan after that.
Yeah, reviews in Japan, they go really hardcore. I don't know, especially if you for example, going back to Tabelog and stuff. I never knew this, but a Japanese person explained to me, you know how you can leave restaurant ratings or whatever, it's out of 5. And usually when a restaurant has 3 stars or above, even with I see 3 out of 5 stars, I'm okay, it's probably mid, I don't know, it's whatever.
But that's good here,
but
right?
that's good here. In Japan, a lot of Japanese people are 3.2 stars, that's a good place. I'm what? So the standard is crazy high here. Yeah.
Someone else said, maybe kind of going along with what you said, I don't think it really matters the number of reviews that are found. I don't think it really matters the number of reviews that are around that give 1 star and have the comment 5 out of 5 for food. I love the atmosphere, but the person at the register looked at me sideways and I felt uncomfortable. So I gave 1 star. Ooh. But then maybe that's the secret to giving a review in Japan. You say everything was great, but some random unprovable insignificant thing happened and review bomb away.
I don't know. I just saw a comment, scrolling down a little bit. Yeah. Someone said, nowhere near as bad as Thailand where a bad review, even if true, can land you in jail or banned from entering the country. I don't know how true that is. I've never been to Thailand. I'm not Thai, but I'll take your word for it.
I've been there, but I've never left a review for any place.
And maybe that was good that you didn't.
Now I won't.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. But
yeah,
I don't know. It is tricky. Negative reviews can be harmful and helpful, depending. But those 63 doctors that are suing Google, a little ridiculous, but in my opinion.
I also think it's a little too much.
There's also, so I asked Frankie before we started recording, because we talked about one of our early episodes, seeing therapists or maybe counselors and stuff in Japan.
Yeah, who is this?
I need to find out his name. One of my friends definitely knows, but apparently, allegedly, there is an infamous therapist French man in Tokyo that many people have had horrible experiences with. And I don't know if it's just the way he runs his practice, if he just gives very awful advice or he's not very professional. I don't know the details of it, but he has received enough negative reviews on Google about his practice. And he is also infamous for trying to sue those people. For defamation and stuff. So I don't know how those cases are going or whatever, but if you know what I'm talking about, cool. I personally don't know the name of this guy, and it's all alleged again. I don't know, but I've heard some stories about that apparent therapist in Tokyo as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that reminds me, I forgot what the restaurant is, but there's I think it's a French restaurant. If it's not French, I'm sorry to the French, but there's some
two hits in a row. Oh no. Yeah.
There's some restaurant where, you know, people were leaving bad reviews, but the owner would comment back like really argumentatively. I need to find that. If I find it, I'll link it.
Yeah, that's when it like, okay, that gets a little bad.
Funny.
Like,
my friend sent it to me. It was so funny what this guy was saying.
Oh man. Because like sometimes, yeah, people who leave negative reviews, depending, it's not all the time, but like, you know how like there's just some people out there that like, even when the experience like wasn't even that bad, they just like, there's people out there who like love to complain, let's be honest. Yes. And like, if they're gonna say anything, it's gonna be something negative. And if they have like the ability to hide their face from it and just post about it anonymously, like, yeah, they're probably gonna go stronger than it actually was in some cases, right? And so like, yeah, you just have some people who love to argue on the internet. So I wouldn't be surprised.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
Life was so much better before the internet.
Yeah. But maybe that's the title of this episode. Yes. Life before the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So just to summarize, so I think it's possible you could be asked to remove the review, or maybe the place will request that the platform itself remove the review. So yeah, it could happen, but I think it's pretty unlikely that they would actually sue you. Maybe, but hey, not a lawyer. Yeah. This is not legal advice. I
don't know.
Be careful. Stay safe out there.
Yes. And use an anonymous name or account if you ever do decide to do stuff like that.
But they could get your IP address.
Apparently, yeah. Just be careful so 63 Japanese doctors don't sue you. Yeah. That one is still wild to me, but okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Catch you again soon.
Bye. I was holding in that cough.